On a chilling night in December 1916, a shadowy figure named Grigory Rasputin vanished from the world stage. Whispers followed him like a winter wind, a healer with magic in his touch, or a troublemaker stirring up the powerful. The truth behind Rasputin is as murky as a Siberian lake. Was he a holy man or a hoax? Join us as we dive into the mysteries of this legend and see if we can separate fact from fiction. Born in 1869 to peasant parents in a small village in western Siberia, Rasputin's early life was marked by a deep religious fervor. Even as a child, locals whispered that he possessed mystical abilities. His journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most influential figures in the Russian court is a tale filled with intrigue and mystery. Rasputin married and fathered several children, but his yearning for spiritual enlightenment led him to abandon family life. He embarked on years of wandering and religious teaching, which eventually brought him to St. Petersburg, the heart of Russian royal power. Through a series of connections, Rasputin found himself in the presence of Tsar Nicholas II and his wife, Tsarina Alexandra. Myth number 1. He had mystical powers. Desperate to find a cure for their ailing son's hemophilia, one night, Tsar Nicholas II called upon Rasputin. After his session with the young boy, the bleeding seemed to stop for some time. Some historians, such as Pierre Gilliard, have speculated that the bleeding likely stopped as a result of Rasputin's insistence on disallowing the administration of aspirin, a known blood-thinning agent, and not any mystical powers he may have had. The Tsarina was amazed and immediately enlisted the services of Rasputin as a close advisor. Myth number 2. He was a morally questionable individual and the queen's lover. Moving on to his personal life, Rasputin's reputation as a morally questionable individual and the alleged lover of the Tsarina fueled the imaginations of his contemporaries. Known for his heavy drinking and visits to brothels, his behavior seemed at odds with his religious devotion. Some historians speculate that he was influenced by the Kleist sect, which believed in achieving divine grace through sinful acts. However, though he did frequently entertain in salons, there is no concrete evidence to support the sensational claims of a secret affair with the Tsarina. These rumors were largely the product of propaganda, amplified after the February Revolution of 1917. Myth number 3. He was Russia's secret ruler. Because of his constant presence in the royal court, whispers grew that Rasputin was acting as a puppet master over the royal couple. Alexandra's growing dependence on Rasputin and his apparent healing abilities with her hemophilic son only exacerbated these rumors. Occasionally, the monk did offer military advice as well as medical help, but his ideas never proved beneficial for the Russian army or Tsar Nicholas personally. In fact, after Tsar Nicholas took personal control over his armies on August 23, 1915, under the advice of Rasputin and the Tsarina Alexandra, the Tsar became the target of blame for Russia's battlefield defeats. Meanwhile, with the Tsar away fighting, a vacuum of leadership was filled by the Tsarina. Here, the myth does approach the truth. Though the Tsarina was in charge, Rasputin did wield great power as her advisor. The mystic healer wasted no time in appointing his own church ministers and other public officials. Myth number 4. He was impossible to kill. Rasputin's behavior and influence came to symbolize everything negative in Russian politics and society at the time. Even prior to his final assassination, other attempts on his life were made. In June of 1914, a beggar woman stabbed the monk in the stomach, claiming he was seducing the innocent. Rasputin made a full recovery, even though he had lost a lot of blood and was close to death after the incident. 2 years later, a group of nobles, led by a man named Felix Yusupov, plotted to get rid of the holy man once and for all. On December 30th, 1916, Yusupov invited Rasputin to dine at his home. After a heavy meal, complete with wine and dessert, all supposedly heavily laced with poison, the men looked on as, amazingly, Rasputin showed no symptoms that the poison was having an effect on him. The men proceeded to shoot Rasputin, who, according to legend, still drew breath after a barrage of bullets and only died after he was thrown into an ice-cold river to drown. However, while Rasputin's death was in fact plotted by Yusupov and other nobles, autopsy reports show that no poison was found in Rasputin's system and that he seems to have died from a single bullet to the head. Myth number 5. He rose from the dead. Much like the tale of his murder, the aftermath of Rasputin's death has been mythologized over the years. According to legend, after Rasputin's poisoned and shot body was thrown into the ice-cold river, he was fished out by a group of passers-by who found that he was still alive when they dragged his body to the shore of the river. However, the truth is that after Rasputin's already deceased corpse was thrown into the Malaya Nevka River, it took days for the police to find the body because the water had already frozen in the sub-zero Russian winter. On March 15, 1917, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated the Russian throne as a result of the February Revolution. The following year, Bolsheviks eliminated the last vestiges of the Romanov dynasty. But myths about Rasputin endured, and underneath those myths, there does reside some truth. Several historians have speculated that Rasputin's influence did indeed play a role in the contempt for the royal household and everything it came to represent. The tale of Rasputin indeed shows that mythology can take a life of its own and grow to become more important than the truth. Rasputin's story is a testament to how mythology can overshadow reality, transforming a man into a larger-than-life figure. His influence undoubtedly contributed to the fall of the Romanovs, but separating fact from fiction in his life remains a challenge. Subscribe to Truth, revealed to stay intrigued and informed.